Hey.
Hello.
Hello. Let's make sure that we are live, ladies.
I think I am.
I see us on YouTube.
All right.
Let me go look on ye old Facebook.
Ye old Facebook.
Yes. Oh,
Having trouble streaming to Facebook.
I
Okay.
saw that.
All right. Let me do this. Says it should be there. Let me remove it and let me re-add it. How about that? Okay. Let's see if we're live now, ladies. Dun, da, da, da. We had this problem last time
Mm-hmm.
with Facebook not wanting to go live for us. It's saying it's live.
Why?
Well, let's give it a second.
Is what? It's not. Do you can't see it on there?
No.
Yeah, go ahead and try it again. Hey, let me know. Okay.
Yep.
He's trying to tell me if it's on YouTube or not.
I think we are. Hey, everybody that might be watching on YouTube. We're trying to get this on Facebook now.
Yeah, it says we're live.
Okay. Awesome.
I think.
Well, welcome everybody to this is our third or fourth? This is our fourth Paranormal Uni-TEA since April. Since we got the band together.
Mm-hmm.
We left one band and started this band back up. But hopefully we are live. We're good on Facebook.
I am looking to see. I am still showing that I can't get to it. Hold on.
I had it on mine.
Okay.
I got there we go. Yeah. I've got it too. So
Okay.
I've got both screens running.
Well, we will wait for a couple more people to hop on, and then you all see us. Please say hello. Don't be shy.
Let me see your iPad.
Don't be shy because we're not.
Not at all.
I am.
We are so far from shy. Y'all hear this little background music?
Oh. I feel like I should.
Okay. You can shut my door.
Welcome to NightSong Paranormal. Paranormal Uni-TEA or Uni-Whiskey or Uni-Coffee or whatever you want to drink tonight. I'm drinking coffee.
Okay.
Dr. Pepper. And this is
Red Bull.
I'm going to say this is water.
Did Jesus turn it into something else?
Jesus works wonders. So this lovely lady to the top left of the screen, that is Miss Tabitha Moore. She is one of our lead investigators and a great friend of mine. Miss Buffy, another great friend of mine for
Hello.
going on 18 years. Anyway, she is our tech manager, and I don't mean.
That music's a little loud on my end.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say the music's a little loud on here.
And so, but you probably noticed that we are missing one gal, and her name is Alicia, and she's at the Ryman right now. She's got a show that she's going to. So she is not here right now.
We think he's important.
Yeah, she's
not us.
She's important, I guess. But
no, I meant we're not important to her.
She thinks she's important anyway. But, you guys, so we always like to come together like every 6 to 8 weeks, and we like to talk about all the questions that may have come in to us, where, ways that we investigate, what we think about certain things. So we've got a list of those to get to tonight. We're going to talk about all of our past. We're going to recap some of our past from the 6 weeks investigations that we've done. We're going to talk about what we have coming up, which is a lot of wonderful things. And we're just so humbled and grateful for all these continued amazing opportunities that are being presented to us. And so we have 3 more investigations. Correct me if I'm wrong. 3 more investigations for the year.
Thomas, Octagon, and Buchanan.
And Harriman. So we've got 4.
So we've got 4 for the year left. And we have 2 collaborations left for the year. We got Back from the Grave, who's going to be joining us at Buchanan. And then at Thomas' house, we've got a couple people from like different teams that are going to come and kind of hang out with us. It's going to be like a family affair, I guess. And then we're going to look into 2024. So we're already starting to plan some amazing things for next year. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into it. Let's talk about Buchanan Log House. What a silent burn. I was telling the girls, that one was a very silent burn for me, because when we did the Buchanan Log House back in early August, I think it was August 5th, we did it. I was like, this is like a pretty average, location. Like you have like a burst of activity and then it goes silent. And then you have like another like 5-minute burst of activity and then it just goes silent. And then we go through and we're looking at all of our evidence and I'm like, holy shit balls, Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And then Buffy goes through her evidence. She's like, oh my God. Yeah. It's crazy what we caught. I'll show some of the evidence, but Tabitha had to sit out on this one, but she's going to join us on the 30th at our event. But Buffy, what did you think?
It was unreal how quiet, but not quiet they were. Kind of, that's the way I look at it. Like, yeah. I can't believe how many moments we had where we're like, we're getting nothing. I'm not hearing anything. There's nothing going off. There's nothing. And then we're going back through evidence and they're in the background like, oh, hello.
What's up?
And laughing at us. And, I was like, oh, okay.
And joining in on our conversations, which was really cool, which is why we do certain things the way that we do them. Like when we beginning an investigation, we just kind of sit around and talk and play games, and we invite them to come over and get to know us a little bit. And they did. I mean, that's, I think, where we got most of our activity was when we were on break, but we would have like a video camera rolling or audio rolling or both. And that's when we would catch things. And that's why, if other investigators are watching right now, what's up, New England Spooky Adventures? Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, I definitely need to see a blooper reel sometime at the end of this year of all the moments when we forget cameras are rolling.
Yeah.
Constantly.
That's just the thing. Like, even though you guys are on break, leave something running. And most people do, but it might not be something that some people think about. But Buchanan Log House was an absolute treasure. It was awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the apparition that we caught right now, which was pretty awesome. Hopefully this is the right video. No, that is this is it.
And it never blocks that light out.
Nope.
And that's what we were looking at. I was like, it never.
I mean, it's transparent enough.
And it comes out the other side.
Yep, comes out. It's playing. But that was
it is awesome.
That was absolutely crazy. I think that was the first. I mean, I don't even think, looking back from when we got NightSong started, I mean, maybe we've caught some shadows here or there, but never that. That was pretty cool. I want us to catch like a full bodied like apparition, like where you can actually see like the legs and stuff. I know our friends at Mid 10 caught that at I can't remember if it was Ashmore Estates or where they were, where they caught, maybe it was Edenburn Manor or something where they caught that. And this might be a little hard to hear, but these are some of the EVPs that we caught after the fact. We didn't catch any EVPs when we were there, like listening live back at our recordings. Most of these came from Buffy's video camera because that was the only thing that was running during our breaks. And I'm going to back it up so you can kind of hear it a little bit. Maybe turn it up a bit.
Hey girl, is this Miss Lucinda?
Are you looking at the stuff that I'm looking at? That I'm looking at? That I'm looking at? That I'm looking at?
I don't know why it's not doing that, but maybe it'll play now. Maybe not. But anyway, we caught a whistle. Now, this whistle we caught on Buffy's camera. We were going up to Lucinda's room, and we were just trying to find a seat, and that's when the whistle came through. Later on in the night, we were doing an Estes method, and we heard whistling coming through, like over several sweeps. And then our friends over at the Bench Breaking Broads, ghost team, they said there is a whistler there because they used to have the residency there at Buchanan, and they know Buchanan Log House inside and out, and have a personal relationship with Lucinda and James and those who are still kind of hanging out in spirit there. And she was like, there is most definitely a whistler, and we think it's James. So when we were live and we caught that through several sweeps, and then a couple weeks later when we were going through evidence and we caught that whistle, crazy. It was nuts.
Mm-hmm. Hey, everybody who's joined.
Hey, Christine, what's going on, girl? Hey, Stevie. We got Denise Allen here. Hi, Craig. Thanks, you guys. So that was an awesome investigation at Buchanan Log House. We're having an event there on the 30th. Cannot wait for that. Okay. Scott County Jail. Buffy and Tabitha were not there for that one, unfortunately, but we had a collaboration with 1010 Paranormal. They ran a little late. They had car troubles or something, but they got there, and we were kind of in the middle of investigations. We got to meet the ghost biker, Miss Miranda Young. That was really cool to get to meet her. And just from the history aspect of the jail, we're still kind of going through a lot of our evidence through that. But we had a really cool Estes method there. Dowsing rods were quite a hit there, which we usually don't break those out at many investigations, but those were really cool. I got touched, which was always cool.
It's always very touching.
Jails.
Yeah.
You got touched at the last jail.
I did. Me and jails. I don't know. Maybe because I work in law enforcement. How they know? I don't know.
I tell them.
Do you tell them? Do you kind of like tap in and tell them?
Tab gives them the heads up.
Right.
But that was a really fun investigation. And then we did Smith County Courthouse. What'd you think of that one, Buffy? That was your first time there. Tabitha and I have been there before.
Mm.
I thoroughly enjoyed the place. I am still sifting through evidence, and there is so much that I am going back. And of course, my method of review is I go through it so many times to double check, triple check things. But it's been interesting so far, to say the least.
It's a great location.
It's an awesome location. And you guys know, I mean, we have a lot of seasoned investigators that are, watching right now. What's going on, Lauren? Wheatland's Plantation is on our 2024 list. Actually, that's probably going to be our first one of the season. And Craig and all that stuff. So Craig and Tammy were at Smith County with us. But as you guys know, like when you do an investigation and then you come back and do another investigation months or years later, it's a different experience. Same thing with me at Smith County. I had a completely different experience. But it was it's active.
Mm-hmm.
Great location. So if you guys want to ever investigate that, it's Smith County Courthouse. And they also have a haunted Airbnb that we did. And I'll play a little clip from the Smith County Airbnb. I can't really tell you where it's at. It's undisclosed, but it's on off of Main Street. I'll just say that. But we were in the closet, and it was myself, Buffy, Amisha, our friend Amisha was there with us, Craig and Tammy, and my mom, my mama, and Alicia. And we were just kind of sitting quietly, and we were just had the spirit box running, and we didn't hear this response come out of the spirit box, because we feel like if we would have heard this come through, that we would have had said something, because we always like mention if we hear something, and none of us mentioned this. So we're going to dig a little bit deeper and kind of see if it actually did come from the spirit box or if it was an EVP. So don't know, but I will play it for you guys right now.
What color shirts are we wearing?
Did you hear that?
Mhm.
I'll play it one more time.
I got the chills.
Wearing.
So we hear blue there, but just typically just knowing how we all are, we would have said blue. No, that's wrong. We're all wearing black or something. Like, try again. Like,
Yeah.
And it
Not
doesn't
wearing
sound
blue.
like
Try to look harder. Try again. You
it
know,
sounds.
it's
It
still,
sounds like almost like it didn't break that static.
that's
Yeah.
what I thought too. And I think that's, when Buffy had showed it to me on Friday, like she was freaking out, and I understand why, because it doesn't seem like it skipped. Like I'll play it one more time. But I thought it was.
What color shirts are we wearing?
Yeah. Interesting, right? Like,
Oh,
so is it something in the closet with us? And that's an actual EVP that has come through? Or is it from the ITC device? Like,
mhm.
but again, if we would have heard that, just knowing how we all are, we would have mentioned it.
I just never. I FaceTimed Barbie at 8:30 in the morning in my pajamas, losing my mind when I found that.
I mean, I'm still trying to. I'm gonna, and I know you, Buffy, you slowed it down. You probably listened to it at about either a quarter of the time or half time.
I went to half, quarter, 3/4, full time, and then immediately went over to my other camera to see if it caught it too. And I was like, I have it on both.
That's crazy. But yeah, just knowing how we are, I mean, one of us would have said, no, that's not correct. Can you try again? But nobody spoke up, which is kind of odd. That's why we're finding it odd. Like, usually we're quick on that. I don't know.
Well, and if you listen further on that clip, it's what color shirts are we wearing? We get the response. We pause for a little bit, and Barb says again right after that, what color shirts?
Right.
Mhm.
Like there was nothing where we heard anything like that.
Yeah, I'll play it in the full entirety so you guys can just hear out what we're saying.
What color shirts are we wearing? What color shirts? I'm a protector. Whoa. When we're dead? Is that what he said?
So yeah, we didn't hear it because we're like, what color shirts? We just kind of passed right by it. Like it just didn't even
Like it never happened.
Like it never even happened. Yeah. So Stevie's talking about Wheatlands. I was kind of bummed, Stevie, because they relisted the house for sale about 12 days ago. Because I was researching to take us like in March or April to start the 24 season. just kind of do a little bit more research on it. And I was like, what is this? They're listed on like all like the realtor websites. They're everywhere. And it's for sale.
I'm guessing there's not a for sale sign, like a sign out front, because they are still like for the rest of this year, they are actively as an Airbnb. And that's kind of a wonky spot for them.
I told you to take a check, Buffy, when you went into that area and just buy it for us.
I could have taken a check, but it would have bounced. It'd have bounced like that ball that got kicked down the hallway at Two Rivers.
I know how much we make as paranormal investigators because I read the article. And you see, we make between $20,000 and $60,000 a year being paranormal investigators.
Oh, yes.
That is incorrect. That's how much we spend.
Yeah, Craig, haunted house for sale. I mean, look, I really hope that like a paranormal like researcher or somebody buys it, but
or at least somebody else buys it to Airbnb it that is friendly to renting it out for investigations.
Right. Because it's one of those locations like it's on my bucket list and I would love to hit it up. What's going on, Casey?
Hey,
so if
Casey.
has like $750,000 and you want to buy Wheatlands, we'll run it for you. I mean, I'll drive to Knoxville. I don't care.
Yes, we will dedicate ourselves to you.
I already drive right by there all the time. So, hey, make it an additional stop.
Heck yeah. What's going on, Casey? But anyway, those were the 3 investigations that we have done in the last 6 weeks. And we actually have quite a few more coming up. So we're going to pass the baton over to Miss Buffy, and she'll tell you all about those.
Oh, me. Things coming up. Well, we soon have, next weekend, we have a private investigation with the Thomas House. It's a location that many of us know, many of us love for various reasons. I know there's a lot of us that are excited to return. We have a lot that haven't been there yet and get to see it for the first time. Kind of what Barbie mentioned earlier. I'm excited to see what this experience is. I haven't been to it since before it was famous for being haunted, but I did have experiences there. So it's been since the late 90s that I was there, maybe early 2K.
You actually saw an apparition, right?
Yeah, I saw an apparition in there when I was there. And so I'm super duper excited to get back and just experience it again with different eyes and everything. We have our Buchanan Log House fundraising ghost hunt on September 30th. Tickets sold out for this one in less than 24 hours. You guys are freaking awesome. We will be doing more of these in the future, as our partnership with Buchanan Log House and, them allowing us to run future investigations. And just to put it out there, every time we sell tickets for an event with Buchanan Log Home, all the event proceeds go to the restoration and upkeep of the grounds and the home. That they rely mainly on donations and things like that to have all the upkeep. This is something to help with that. October, we have the Tennessee Haunts and Legends Expo. That's on Saturday, October 21st at the Nashville Fairgrounds. We'll be exhibiting at the expo, and we'll have fun items available for purchase. Tickets are on sale now for $10. Kids 12 and under are free. Check out their Facebook page for information. That's Tennessee Haunts and Legends Expo. And drum roll. I can't drum roll well. We've got October 28th, our Halloween at Harriman big event. I'm so excited about this. We only have a few tickets left. The cost for the event is $125. The $125 includes ghost hunting, refreshments, drinks, all entertainment.
And we actually have quite a few, seasoned investigators that bought a ticket. This is for anybody. If you know somebody who doesn't have any, any experience or whatever, that's for them. If you have people, you yourself, you have a bunch of, equipment and you're a seasoned investigator, you're welcome as well. I mean, this is for
Yes.
everybody. It's not just for people who need, assistance in investigating. This is for everybody.
And the cool thing is, I've heard a lot of people be like, oh, I really want to go to an investigation. I'm like, well, hook onto one of these because you get the whole shebang. Like, you get one-on-one time, you get maybe free roam, and that's a good place to start to see if you even want to do it.
Yep.
And
built in a free roam. So,
right.
Just like when we did our event at Old South Pittsburgh, our same thing is going to apply here at Harriman. Starting at midnight, from midnight till 3 a.m., it'll be free roam. So you can go anywhere that you want. And the groups are going to be, we limited everything to 24 tickets. So each group is going to have 8 people in it. So the groups are going to be small, and each group is going to be on separate floors from each other. So, and then the free roam is going to happen. So like Buffy said, we still have tickets.
Yes. So go get them now.
$125, which
run, don't walk.
To be honest with you, we're really not making much money off of this at all for the team. I'll be completely candid with you guys. We don't do this for the money. We don't. Actually, Ronnie gets $95 per person. So really $30 per person is coming to the team. And we're buying, of course we have to do, we're doing food and we're doing drinks, and we're doing pretty cool little grab bags for everybody. So, do the math. We're not making much money. And that's by design. We don't do this for the money. We do it for the love of it. And so anyway, that's going to be awesome. So as Buffy said, just go to our website. We have plenty of tickets for sale. Actually, I say plenty, but I think we only have like 9 tickets left. The last that we talked. And then Buffy, weren't they saying something about maybe doing a cemetery crawl?
Yeah, that was actually my next one. Sometime in October. We're still looking at potential dates that work with our team, as well as works with Buchanan Log House. We're looking at a potential cemetery crawl and hunt somewhere near Halloween. Stay tuned for updates on that. We're working that in the background right now. And then in November, our team of ladies here, we are going to hit Octagon Hall kind of as our end of the year gathering, and for a private investigation and hang out. And, even some of these that are private investigations, Thomas House coming up, Octagon Hall, some of these, or if you don't get tickets to, Harriman and you want to feel like you're a part of it, remember, we always, as long as cell service allows us, we always broadcast live from our NightSong page here on Facebook. We broadcast from our base camp. We broadcast from body camps throughout the night. And as most people understand, it depends on cell service. So we do our best to bring you with us every time. And I think that's all I have, Tabitha. There's been, some questions and things that have come in. I think you were going to talk about.
Yeah, there's some questions that people have asked, and sometimes I ask them because I'm like, I don't know for sure. Even though I've been investigating forever, I still have questions. So some of the do's and don'ts of recording audio / EVPs during an investigation, just be respectful, I think, and quiet. Like if you're doing a recording, 15 people don't need to be talking in the same room, or a lot of moving. Or if you do, you also need to say like, oh, that was me. My stomach growled. Just so we know, and to be respectful of other people. Just because we're not doing an EVP recording here, someone else may be doing one in another location. So if you're at base and somebody's upstairs, you don't have a party at base. Because it interrupts the people upstairs. You know what I'm saying?
That's like walkie, and they're like, "Hey, can you guys cool it down?"
Or run around and sing the Dora the Explorer backpack song.
I've done that before, not realizing how much my voice carries sometimes. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you,
Man, we
you
get excited when we
forget.
get on them rib bowls and oatmeal cream pies.
Right.
Well, and you forget some of these locations, these older locations, they are mostly concrete or wood floors and extremely echoey. And you just don't think about it at
Oh my
times.
gosh, especially like the jails where it's all metal. There is
Right.
we did a we were there with a collaboration, and we tried to go in like one of the drunk tanks and do one, and we couldn't. They were on the third floor doing an investigation, and we were down on the third floor, and it just carried so much that we weren't able to do it.
And also, like, if you're outside, let's say you come, like, if you're just outside and you're done with your EVP session outside, radio up and say, hey, how long are y'all going to be? If it's a really good session, be like, hey, it's going to be another 15 minutes. And then they just need to hang outside for 15 minutes, or be respectful when you're coming into a location and somebody's already doing EVP sessions. Don't come in sounding like a bunch of horses, to where you're, I mean, for me, because I've done it before, not knowing.
We've all done it.
And so, it's just different things to learn, because even like not realizing, I thought I had caught an EVP at Two Rivers, and it was
That was me singing.
backpack.
Look at the backpack song
The thing
downstairs.
is, I couldn't hear it. She was downstairs and around a corner, and I couldn't hear it, but my phone or audio recording or whatever picked up. So I think, you just don't realize how far it carries.
You don't.
No,
Yes.
that was great.
I was like, man, these people are in the door and they didn't even have TVs.
I was like, that was me. Sorry.
I think it's just across the board, be respectful. And like, what are some of the best EVP questions or asked during it? What are the best questions to ask during EVP? For me, I like a lot of open-ended questions.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I ask dumb questions like, do you have a name? Well, who hasn't had a name on this face of the earth since beginning of time? Do you know I don't have a name? Or I would be like, yes, I do. I think sometimes, especially when I watch the like Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters, some of the questions, I just get tickled at. I'm like, did they seriously ask that? And then I realized I asked it too.
I don't know.
Investigation, I'm like, oh no.
Every once in a while I'll go back and I'll watch some old episodes of, I don't know, like Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, whatever. And I was actually, I really liked Ghost Adventures when Nick Groff was on there. Mm-hmm. And it was one of like the first few seasons where he was like, come and fight me in the dark.
I just watched that one the other day.
Come and fight me in the dark.
You have to understand. Yeah, come and fight me. You have to understand too, like, if you're doing an EVC, look, you can tell I've been sick for like the last 6 weeks. I just need to start over. I'm going to bed. During the EVP sessions, like I said, don't ask questions at 42 times the same question over and over. Like, I try to realize that I'm having a conversation with someone like Buffy. You know what I mean? Like, have a conversation.
Which means you have to speak slow. And,
right. Or if you're doing an EVP session, don't be trying to get them to light up something, because you're not going to hear them.
Mine too. Like, that's one of mine too. If you're doing an EVP session, don't invite them to go in the next room and turn on, you want them to talk into this red light. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing this right now. Don't direct them away. Like, let's try and get their voice.
So what are some of y'all's favorite questions, or what are some of your questions you ask and you're like, I can't believe I did that?
I always try to ask historical questions, that we know the answers to. Because when we go into a place, and they take you around for the tour, one of the things they always ask you is, do you want to know the history, and do you want to know the paranormal activity? I always just want to hear the history. I want to hear the facts first, because the paranormal activity I want to capture for myself. Like, it's good to know if certain things, are better in certain areas, but I want to find that out on my own. So I don't want the paranormal history of it. I just want to know those like factual history things, and that's what I usually base my questions off of, because that way, you know, if I'm asking something and they validate it, then I know, hey,
Mhm.
this came through, you know,
Right.
they validated like an actual historical fact, and then kind of go off there.
Mhm.
And then I invite them to come fight me in the dark.
Right. You know, and sometimes I ask questions like, if I'm at a house, I asked one time, does it offend you or does it bother you I'm wearing pants? Because
Oh, yeah.
as a
I've
female,
never thought of that one.
or I was sitting in a man's smoking room, I think it was a Ripa Villa, and I said, does it bother you I'm in here? And
Yeah.
his reply was yes, because he didn't
Because
allow women in the smoking room. That's where he did his business. And I was like,
right,
okay, you know, afterwards, I was like, that's great.
great.
So you kind of look at the history of, it's a different time here.
You
than
look
it
at the
is.
social aspects of that
Right.
time. Yeah.
I would be like, how do you like Buffy's hair? I love Buffy's hair. But they may be like, what is she doing? You know what I'm saying? Because they never.
Where it says, I think it came across like one of our like it wasn't I think it was like Spirit Talker or something, and we had asked what color is her hair, and it came across fire.
Fire. Right.
There was another one at the first time Octagon Hall last year, which was my first like official investigation. And Barbie and I were downstairs. We were just getting baselines. We were down in the winter kitchen, and
Yeah.
Barbie said something about my hair, and we got red and purple both on the spirit box, and
Mhm.
my hair at the time was red and purple.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
we were like, but I kind of enjoy that, because if they're going to mention it, you usually kind of just know. That's also why I love wearing my gold shoes, because if
Mhm.
they're going to mention something, you just kind of know.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of what I ask, like historical questions that they can validate. I
Mhm.
also ask questions if they can validate if they can actually see us. What color shirts are we wearing? How many fingers are we holding up? What color's my hair? What year is it? You know what I mean? Like that
Right.
way you know you're dealing with something intelligent, and
Mhm.
you're not just capturing, you know, soldiers running through the house and it's just residual. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you're capturing something that you can actually have a conversation with
Mm-hmm.
women.
Brings it up and he went.
Uppity women.
That's right.
Greg,
So,
if you haven't met us by now, then, well, I'm sorry.
we like the least
We're-
uppiest people.
At least we haven't been called like trollops or anything.
Right. That's probably coming
Speak
at
for
one of
yourself.
the investigation. So,
Another thing too is like place yourself in their time. That's a good
mhm.
point that Tabitha made earlier. Is place them in the time is what we do. Like rather than you saying flashlight, we say torch. You know, we always like ask if you like whiskey or, you know, bourbon, something that they were used to kind of drinking then, you know?
And I know, like, if it's like, let's say the Buchanan house, if you're in there one of the first times, I tend to tell them, like, this light is on this recorder, does not burn. Let me show you. And then I touch it. And I'm like, you can touch it all you want to, you know, or our torches aren't going to burn. So you don't have to worry about that, or, you know.
Fire.
So,
Good question. Yeah, Mom, who is the president? That'll
mhm.
like, we've gotten that at where were we? We were at a Civil War cemetery, and we asked who's the president, and they said Lincoln. It came back Lincoln.
Right.
Placed them in that time. Yeah.
I love building off of that too. Okay, who is the president? But are you aware that time has passed since? Are you aware that we're living in separate realms but still able to contact one another?
Yeah.
Because I like building partially off of that to build on, what do you think of the things that have changed? Did you ever think that there was this adding machine that would be this little gadget part of inside my pocket all the time? You know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love learning the perspective of where they are and where we are and how much that interlaces over
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
So I think just really good things to learn. Like for EVPs, I found out too, if you're at a historical location, to play like the music. The if you're at the Southern Plantation, sometimes I play Southern, like the songs they played during the Civil War, or sometimes I'll play the opposite. If I'm at the North side, I'll play the Southern music, to see if it riles them up. Or I've heard some people I've had an EVP come through before. It was like, stop it, so.
Some people will reenact,
Mhm.
certain things, and that'll spark really good responses.
Right.
And that's just part of just being, a seasoned investigator, is just, number one, learning from other teams, because you can pick up a lot of things by collaborating with other teams. And like, oh, I never really thought to do that. That's
Mhm.
actually pretty cool. We might have to start doing that. And then vice versa, like certain things that we like to do is write down certain passcodes or words and try and have them, kind of recite them back to us later on in the night. So,
And I think too, one thing good is to write down some questions before you go in, so that way you're not having to think of some, like,
yeah, that's great.
about the property or something, so that way you're not like, you'd be like, let me pull out my backpack,
Right.
Backpack.
and my handy dandy notebook and write my questions.
It's a Nick Jr. kind of investigation.
So, I've worked with Stephen and Terry a lot. So, and we all investigate, I think, kind of the same way. We learn a lot from them. I think they learn a lot from us, how awesome we are. But when you collaborate with other teams and you haven't worked with them before, what do y'all think is a good place to start? Like, lay down rules, or how would you go about with the collaborations? Just what to do, because I don't really talk to people. You talk to them more, Barbie, than I do.
There's just from we've all been kind of in the world for a while, and you see some teams and you're like, man, I would really like to work with them. They seem, I've seen a lot of their evidence and the way that they conduct themselves, and I really think that we align with them, and I would like to work with them. And then we kind of bring it to a vote, and then we just kind of reach out. So that's the thing too, is just, reach out. And if a team isn't interested in a collaboration, I mean, don't take it personally. We've never had that before, but I mean, it could happen, and we just won't take it personally. Sometimes people just don't want to work with other people. It doesn't mean that they aren't, it's not because they're not into para-unity or anything. It's just they have their certain way of doing things, and maybe that collaborated in the past and it turned out horribly. Maybe certain teams have come in and contaminated some of their evidence, and so they're like, you're a great team, but we just don't work well together or something. Maybe that's why they don't collaborate anymore. I don't know, but I don't know. Like, like you were saying, I really like Mid-10. We align. We're almost the same team. Almost, we align in every single way.
And I get excited when I find out Craig and Tammy's coming. I'm like, yeah, bring them. I'm so excited, because they are very awesome people to investigate with. And like,
Outlaw Paranormal, we would love to collaborate with them. I know Gina and Jimmy, great people. We've actually investigated with them before at Smith County with Mid-10. Great people. Jimmy tried to scare me. Tried to scare me. You know how, Stevie, you're probably very familiar with how Jimmy is. He tried to scare me. And I don't know. I love all of them, So, I mean, I know that Mid-10 and Outlaw do a lot of things together. And so us and Outlaw would get along very famously, I think.
We had, who was it that we investigated with? I'm sorry, I'm bad with names, but I was sick that night. I think that was starting of my 6 weeks of death.
Grave?
The girl the girls. I mean, Back from the Graves.
Elite. Oh, yes. Elite. Yeah.
Elite Vixens. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Enjoy, we kind of all went our separate ways, but that was perfect too, because we all got
we had a lot of things to cover.
Right. And back
we didn't really get to investigate together.
Mm-hmm.
But we did with Back from the Grave. But yeah.
Right. Yes, I enjoy working with them too. They were awesome.
Back from the Grave was awesome. Same with Ken 10. We had, 2 different places that we had to investigate. So we had to split up and
yeah, we only ended up seeing each other in passing this last round more so. But that works well. I mean, everybody gets to kind of go and do and then come back together at times. Hey, what did you get? We got this. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
When you've got larger places like that and you're doing a collaboration, that to me is ideal.
Yeah.
Right. And it shows that you respect the other people too, because I'm just not going to always investigate with just anybody. Like if I don't get a good feel or if something has happened in the past, it's like, okay, like when we go into a location and we are responsible for that location, we want everybody to treat it with respect.
Yeah.
And not
the thing too, like if a team, that's why when you are talking about collaborations, really, do yourself a favor, look into the team. Do they, if your team is against Ouija boards, does that team bust out a Ouija board, every once in a while? We don't have a problem with teams doing that. You can do whatever you want, whatever works for you. We will not judge you for it, but we don't align with that ideology. We don't align with anything like that. So we would just respectfully ask, hey, we would love to do an investigation with you, but if you wouldn't mind, like
letting us leave at that time, like for 30 minutes.
Yeah, let us kind of, if you want to bust that out, let us, walk out and you guys can conduct your business how you see fit. We will not judge you for it. We just don't agree with it and we don't align with that. And that's fine. We don't have to align with everything, we don't.
But, I've stepped out a lot working with y'all. I never would have done the where you stand in the middle and you fall back and the human.
Yeah.
I never would have done that before.
Right.
And I felt comfortable enough with y'all to be like, okay, let me try it. And I jumped in the middle. And I was like, okay.
Too is just doing it with somebody who knows how to open and how to close.
And how to close. That is my biggest. I am not opposed to those types of sessions or anything. But my first question will be to you. Do you know how to close that portal? Because I feel very strongly about that part of it.
Yep.
Therefore, a lot of times I step back if anybody is doing any sort of session like that because I don't know for sure if it's going to get closed correctly. So I step away.
And then Buffy and I have the issue of we already have spirits in our house.
Yeah. She already follows me.
You don't want anybody following you.
I don't want anybody. I don't want anybody coming in that's not already here.
I don't know what it is about every time we do this live. Stuff starts peeking around corners over here at me, and I'm like, it's like they know.
How many people can say they had a conversation for 10 minutes with a hamper? Me. So
I should look that up and show everybody. Right.
But I'm just like, how in the
Barbie has gotten the privilege recently of witnessing the shadow movement in this area of the house. We were sitting back here where I'm at now, and I was showing her my full spectrum camera I just bought, and she's like, I just saw a shadow in that room. And I'm like, really? Because I just saw one right behind you. And we're just like.
To where like, it was just, we were just there, just having a, we were just hanging out, having dinner and stuff.
We were doing nothing.
And I brought over a backpack with stuff just in case shit started to go down. And so I did. I went out and I grabbed my motion detectors and we put them in the back.
And they never went off.
Never went off. No. We just
I'm telling you, the stuff, if I turn on equipment back here, it's like they go, go
whatever.
away.
Yeah.
They're like, we just like messing with you directly.
Yes.
Because they're my practical jokers back here.
Yeah, when you have it ruled when you have it at your house all the time, and like when I go to barracks, that happens. I'm like, no, thank you.
Speaking of houses,
Speaking, oh yeah, look, I'm like, you talking to who you talking to? I'm like,
Speaking of houses,
well, you have like home investigations. What are some advice to those who are thinking of taking on the type of investigations, the pros and cons? For me, because I've done like hundreds of them, you have to really figure out if the person really has a haunting or if they want to have a haunting. We had somebody one time that we explained that the wind chime on a water pipe when you flush the toilet is going to move when it's hanging from the ceiling. And they're like, nope, it's a ghost. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. And we went upstairs and flushed the toilet and it shook. You know what I'm saying? Like they just wanted it. I think that's really big is the person wants it or, wants that so bad. They're going to come up with things or like the investigations we have been on, the 2 home investigations we've been on, they have been awesome.
Yeah.
And the people really had something going on in their homes. But you have to go through, I think, you just can't go in. I think you have to have a list of questions. Even if they get personal, like what medications are you on? Because you don't want to walk in someplace where someone has 18 personalities.
That's a valid question.
And the medications, they're off of it, or
they could be on taking some sort of sleeping med that's creating
bad
a
dreams.
lot of them create hallucinations and things. There are Ambien, things like that. They create a lot of episodes where you see things.
Right. And I think with the popularity of the shows, people either want to have their house being haunted or they want to make money off their homes being haunted. Like, to let people come in and because you didn't hear about it 10, 15 years ago and they've lived there for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like you don't, like why now? What is your goal into figuring out now? So the pros is you meet great people and you are able to help people. One of the first cases I went on, the reason why I went on it is because the church wouldn't come in and help them. And so our group went in to get the evidence and we were able to present that to the church. Because like when I was 7, I'm 47. I've had paranormal experiences since I was 7. It wasn't really cool then. There's certain experiences that I would not talk about back then that I talk about freely now. So I can't understand that aspect, but now it's talked about so freely.
Yeah. I think too, I think some paranormal teams back down from home investigations altogether.
Mm-hmm.
And there's if a team doesn't want to do home investigations, don't do home investigations. I'm not going to view you any differently.
Right.
Just recently, some friends of ours and another team, I won't name them, but they're friends of ours, very prominent team in the area. They were frowned upon and they were bullied for the fact that they do not do home investigations anymore. There's a lot of reasons why teams don't do them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why we do very few of them. It's usually people that we know because there have been teams who have gotten sued. So if you don't have any good insurance, which good luck finding some sort of insurance when you tell them I'm on a paranormal team and we're trying to get general liability. And they're like, what, excuse me, what's that? They don't know what that is.
And safety. Like 4 women walking into somebody's house is a little bit different than when you have men on your team.
And have, when we do a home investigation, we send them a list of things like, hey, please, any loose carpeting, please roll it up so we don't trip in the dark. If you have any small pets, please, and children, please, have a neighbor or somebody in the family watch them while we're there. And have paperwork and make sure that your paperwork has it pretty clear that you are not liable for
right
any of that stuff that might go down.
And sometimes I don't want to get into that because that's a lot of responsibility.
So
it's not just one investigation. It's 2 or 3, or sometimes it's up to a year trying to get this evidence for this home. And that's just a lot.
What up, Stephen?
Stephen, we've been talking about you all night. It's just a lot to do, and it's a lot to take on. And I've gotten to the point where I enjoy going to places that we have historical that I may not be able to get into before, because there's nothing like going into a place where they just drop the red velvet rope and be like, you can go in when nobody else can go in. That to me is fun for me right now. If somebody desperately needs help, I don't think we have a problem with going in, but I think you go through phases. I think you start out helping people, and then you kind of roll over to, okay, I'm kind of done with that. Let's move into this phase. And 4 years from now, you may do it again,
Because some homeowners may be like, well, activity increased and it got worse.
Right.
What did you do when you came in here? You know what I mean? Like, it's not happened to us. I'm just saying it's a hypothetical, because I'm pretty sure it's happened to other people before. So just have paperwork in place. If you do home investigations, good on you. If you don't, good on you. We're not going to judge you, do your thing. All you want to do, go in.
Maybe good barbecue late.
I had barbecue tonight, Stephen. I actually went to a place called Head's Barbecue behind my work, and I was like, can I see your barbecue before I buy it? They were like one of the biggest ones in our area. I was like, and I never had it. I'm like, can I see it? And so it tasted really good, and I'll go back. And their chicken was nice and juicy. And
for those who are wondering what Steven's talking about, so we had a 3-team collaboration between Back from the Grave, Mid-10, and us, and it was at Clay County Courthouse. And
come and give me a kiss.
Larry, bless his heart, great friend of mine, he was like, oh, we have the best barbecue in town. It's called like One Stop Barbecue, because it's the only barbecue place in this town. And we stopped there, and he's like, yeah, they have really good like vinegar sauce and stuff. Yeah. We got our meals, and it was like cat food on a plate. It was gross.
My chicken looked like the sole of a shoe.
Love you, Margaret, but gross. We love you though. Thank you for trying to have us try. They just had a bad day. The barbecue joint had a bad day.
They did, and it was hot. I'm sure they were miserable.
A bad day.
I'm sure they were miserable and hot. I mean, it was hot there.
Yeah, they just gave up.
I think that I'm very picky about barbecue. I know we've talked about like the guy I'm seeing. He is like a barbecue
master.
Yeah, and then so you just can't just go anywhere and be like, this is good. So, yeah.
I thought the sides were good. I ate my fries, and I don't know what else I had with it. I can't remember.
I just wanted to get some pizza that night.
Yeah.
That horse didn't make good barbecue.
They rolled up the sidewalks early in that town. I forget about towns that do that. And
yeah, I don't think it was actual chicken that they grilled. I don't know what that was. I don't know. It wasn't. The sides were good, but the meat was just not good.
It was a bad day.
It was a bad day. Larry, Margaret, I love y'all, but don't ever take me back to that. We went to the Dollar General after that. We were hungry. But anyway, I think just some restaurants have a bad day.
Right.
And anyway, so yeah, if your team is thinking about taking on home investigations, do your thing, boo.
Just don't fuss on people who don't. Like,
yeah. And, okay. And if a team doesn't, I mean,
more for you.
Who cares? I mean, nobody here probably knows what I'm talking about, but you might. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't make you any less of a paranormal investigator or a team if you don't do home investigations. Like, if you don't do them, great.
Too, for families, it's hard to move for the night. I don't think families realize that you have to move for the night. We can't always have you there for the investigation. So what are you going to do for 6 hours? Or are you going to go to a hotel? Or are you going, so it's a big disruption to the family too,
It is.
of having to, do an investigation there. So.
Okay. Anything else before we move on? We're kind of going a little over.
That's it. I've talked enough.
So, we're having a big giveaway on Facebook once we reach 1,500 likes on the page or follows on the page. So, wait a minute. I got to find that video too. I have that video.
Oh God, that was great. I actually just reviewed where I had that yesterday.
Is that when he was
I had to
upstairs?
stop. I was laughing. No, it was downstairs, the records room.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, I wasn't there for that.
Well, Terry got me for a second, and then I'm gonna go find it real quick, and I'll play it for everybody. And then we were like, "Oh God, we gotta scare the shit out of Craig. We gotta scare the shit out of Craig." And Craig goes in there, and he's like, "Whoa!" It's like,
y'all, I sure will throw fists if you scare me. I am not beyond that.
Like I knew though, I always know to look for Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where's Terry? That's the first thing I said. Where's Terry?
Can you
like,
hear her? Or can you? Yeah.
I will cuss profusely and then probably either kick or throw a punch. That's going to be.
I'm going to find this video.
Because I'm very jumpy. You don't. Mm-mm.
I would find my video of it, but Buffy had her body cam running as her main camera at that time because my video camera and I were getting along. And my body cam may or may not have been mounted upside down through all of it.
You
so I'm going to have to go through and flip every video before I do anything.
I'm thinking that's a new investigation technique. Because you want to see other aspects of an investigation.
We're going to go with that. Because the first body cam video I opened, I was like,
was I standing on my head?
Crap. I mounted that upside down. I've got like 2 hours of this thing upside down.
Maybe you'll see something different. Like, do we really look at the floors?
I did kind of look harder while watching those. Maybe that's my new thing to do when I'm using it. Craig.
YouTube. But while I'm looking for this video, because we'll end on Craig getting the shit scared out of him. But so once we reach 1,500 followers on YouTube, we are going to give a giveaway. We're gonna do a giveaway, and it's gonna have like all kinds of goodies, t-shirts, all kinds of cool stuff.
I hope I win. I'm a follower.
So we'll do that. Okay, I
hope I win too.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can get a cool t-shirt.
Right. I think you make yours.
I wonder if it's a short. Maybe they don't have it on here. Oh man, I can't find it.
Where are you looking through the DVR stuff? Because it's not the records room.
No, it's the GoPro video that Terry and Steven were running in that records room, and I think they put it on, but I can't find the link. Steven, if you have the link, post it, and I'll play it live for everybody. But so yeah, we're gonna have a giveaway at 1,500 follows on Facebook. We were interviewed for American Paranormal Magazine, and we're either going to be, I'm not for sure, either the October or the November issue for the Southeast portion of the magazine. So that was really awesome to be included in that. And let me see if he sent me this link.
You know what? We may have to have a whole segment next time of everybody being scared.
I'm going to get Terry one of these days. Even Steven said too, he was like, man, sometimes I forget. And she gets them. I can't find it. Dang it. Yeah, we'll have to find it for next time. But I know that we ran a little bit over, but thank you everybody for all your continued support and love for the team. Goes to show you that para-unity means something. So we love y'all and we thank you for that. And the next Paranormal Uni-TEA is going to be October 26th before our Harriman event, which we still do have tickets available. Let me put this up again. Halloween at Harriman. It'll be a full moon, October 28th.
You're not there, you're not cool.
Not there, you're not cool. You heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Go to our website, nightsongparanormal.com. Purchase tickets. They're $125, which includes refreshments and drinks all night ghost hunting, and you get
all this fabulous entertainment from us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you get to free roam too after midnight until 3. So that's going to be pretty awesome. As always, if you guys have any questions for the team, you can always send it to us and we'll address them on the 26th of October when we're doing our next Paranormal Uni-TEA. So with that, y'all have anything else to say?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So thank you guys. We adore y'all. Thank you so very much. We love y'all. Be safe. Don't take anything home with you in your investigations.
Close it up.
If you do, make them dinner or something and make sure it's not barbecue. And it's not barbecue. But we love you guys. Thank y'all.
Bye.
Hey.
Bye, guys.